Yo, so this is the first Dr. Beat Boss, subsidiary of Roland, I think. Boss, the Dr. Beat, Dr. Beat 88, DB33, right? It was the very first one made in like 1986. First, not the very first one. Well, who knows? Maybe it was. How do I know um, that for real? But the first model could have been the first one. Might have been the 10th one made. But so anyways, I got this in 1987, and this is really cool. Now the Dr. Beats are this a drum machine. It's a whole like thing, right? It's really cool. It subdivides. Okay, so I don't know if you want to do something like. So, anyways, it does different things. Triplet, okay. I just use it basically for, metronome. I just use it for metronome, just to have a steady beat. And so that's cool. Look at the first Dr. Beat. Got the peace sign tape on it, keeping the battery in there. So I've had this for a really long time, and it keeps working. It like had the same battery in it for years. It was almost like the menorah or the story. the Dr. Beat that would never quit. But so that's this. This is what I use. It's got the dial on it. And you see the dial's messed up. It's all clouded in. So there's a story with that that I remember just because of this Dr. Beat. And so the story is, you see how it got messed up right there? You could see the increments in there. It was really neat. They have Allegro, Allegrando, in there. But so what happened is I did a gig in probably 1988, did a gig at the river with Don Boyd, my buddy Don Boyd, who I don't know where he is now. These people need to get together with social media. These old people. So Don Boyd was in this band with him, and we had this gig at the river. So in Southern California, if you say the river, it just automatically means Colorado River. So that's what the river is to us. So it was a gig at the river, had a party out in the middle of nowhere in the desert at night on a flatbed truck. So, but when we drove there, okay, I had all my drums in the back of my truck then, and then my truck had a shell on it. It was I had a red Ranger. I always had Rangers. This one had a shell, so I had all my drums in the back, and other stuff, amps and speakers, and so there were two people in the front, and then Don Boyd's little brother wanted to go with us, but there was no room, so we pushed all this stuff forward in the back of my truck, right? You know what I'm saying? Like we had the gate pulled down, and we moved all the equipment forward, and we left a little spot there for him. And it's about a 3.5 hour drive to the river. So he was going to just like sleep in the back, and we went to the river. So, but what happened was we got. I always had a gas can in the back of my truck, extra gas, full of gas. That's back in the days when we lived dangerously, and so anyways, the gas at some point, all my stuff was back there in my bag, and the gasoline can spilled on this. the gasoline spilled on my Dr. Beat, and it still worked. It was amazing, but it just discolored the dial, and also see the little line on the dial. It was not calibrated exactly, so it was a little off to what 120 was. So I just had to mark another marking. Right. So anyways, that's the story of my Dr. Beat, and it's amazing how something like this can open up all the memories of that weekend at the river. We played a flatbed truck in the middle of nowhere. It was cold and dark, and people were crazy and partying. And I remember we played China Grove. It's one of the songs that we played. We did some Steely Dan, because Don Boyd did Riddle in the Ears. So, stories of minstrel at large.